You're my everything. Come to think of it, you're my remedy. You are the song I sing, and the air I
Yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. Wherever you are right now, you are welcome to another special edition of Liberia Rising with Sam-Abel Gbinsay. As a matter of fact, the New Image Gospel Choir owned the exclusive right to that song. Yeah, produced and recorded by the New Image Gospel Choir. That's what we do. Today, I want to talk on something very important regarding leadership again. I want to talk about spirit of leadership excellence. I want to talk on the spirit of leadership excellence. The spirit of leadership excellence. And my text is 2 Samuel 9. I'll read a couple of verses starting with verse 1. One day, David asked, "Is anyone in Saul's family still alive? Anyone to whom I can show kindness for Jonathan's sake?" I want to pause here and say something for a moment. I have come to realize that doing good in life for others should not necessarily always be based on the fact or that they must deserve it. But I have come to realize that you must do good for others whether they deserve it or not, knowing that tomorrow is going to work to your advantage. So he says, "Is there anyone still left alive in the house of Saul for whom I must do good?" The king then asked him, "Is anyone still alive from Saul's family? If so, I want to show God's kindness to them." Ziba replied, "Yes, one of Jonathan's sons is still alive." One of Jonathan's sons is still alive. He is crippled in both feet. 2 Samuel 9:7. "Don't be afraid," David said. "I intend to show kindness to you because of my promise to your father. I intend to show kindness to you because of my promise to your father, Jonathan. I will give you all the property that once belonged to your father, Saul, and you will eat here with me at the king's table." Spirit of leadership excellence. We all know the story. I don't want to bore you with the story. I want to go straight into what I want to say. But just a little background. Saul was king, and Jonathan should have succeeded Saul. But God has rejected Saul because of his disobedient rebellion and had chosen David. In the midst of all that Jonathan, knowing fully well that if David stays alive, if this young man stays alive, I'm never going to be king. But what did Jonathan do? He embraced David and loved David as his own soul. There were war between David and Saul, but Jonathan never got involved. He protected David's life several times. Saul attempted killing David. It was Jonathan who allowed David to escape to safety. David becomes king. He didn't go revenging on the family of Saul like most of us leaders would do today. I take over as a pastor of the church. I remove all the leaders that were loyal to the past, the former pastor. I take over as a bishop of the ministry. I begin to remove or purge all those are considered loyalists to the past pastor. And we forget to know that if they were loyal, that's good attitude. You didn't expect them to have served a man or the woman of God and be disloyal. We do the same thing in politics, in government, in organizations. David didn't purge. David didn't go looking for old foes. David didn't go looking for people to revenge. Instead, what did he do? He said, "Is there anyone left of the family of Saul that I may do good to for Jonathan's sake?" Spirit of excellence in leadership. Or I say spirit of leadership excellence. Spirit of leadership excellence, the first thing that happened is that it's not ungrateful. The spirit of leadership excellence is not an ungrateful spirit. You see, ungratefulness, or to be ungrateful, is to be unthankful, unappreciative, not showing gratitude. David didn't do that. Spirit of leadership excellence is never ungrateful. It's never unappreciative. It's never unthankful. It's not the one that doesn't show gratitude. It's thankful. It's thankful, and it shows gratitude and gratefulness to people who help them along the way to be where they are. One of the things that get to me in our time, in our generation, in Liberia, especially when I listen to people, to public officials, to government officials, it's like nobody ever helped them. Nobody ever helped somebody. Can you imagine? And sometimes I'm like, what's this? Somebody get into leadership, it's like nobody ever helped them. Nobody ever helped me. I suffer for my education. And sometimes I'm like, God, you got to help us. They got to show some gratitude. That old lady that helped you with a cup of water. That's somebody that helped you with that 5 cents, that 10 cents, that $5, that $10 when you didn't have. That registrar that said, okay, you could pay the school fee at so time, go and do your exams. The spirit of leadership excellence, not only that it's not ungrateful, because you see, when leaders become ungrateful, it is because they forget. Spirit of leadership excellence is not forgetful. The reason why people are ungrateful because they forgot. They forgot those who helped them along the way when they were struggling, when they didn't have, when they couldn't afford. You see, when you forget, you become dangerous. So forgetful people are dangerous people. Be afraid of forgetful people. Forgetfulness can lead to anger, unforgiveness, jealousy, and even murder. The reason why people will struggle together and they come to position, when they have gotten position, then they ostracize other people. They find blame so that they can eliminate you and get rid of you, is because they forgot. If they hadn't forgotten, there will be forgiveness. They will always know that we can reconcile. There will be the reason why even our nation, in our society, after the war, leaders are not pushing for reconciliation. See how they talk on radio, anger and vindictive and against one another. Is you see that they forgot. Some of the people went to the same schools. They were classmates. They were friends. But the few who have ascended into a position of influence and power and affluence, they've forgotten. So forgetful people are dangerous people in leadership. And the next thing is that the spirit of leadership excellence, not only that it's not ungrateful, not only that it's not forgetful, it's not unrighteous. Because you see, unrighteousness is ungodly. Is wicked. The products of being unjust or unfair and dishonest. They will remember David, oh my God, this guy lifestyle scares and intimidates me. This guy, remember, there were days when I was running away, when I didn't have a place to hide. There was no place of security. The only person who got me here today is because of Jonathan. He was the king's son. That was his throne. He was next in line for that position. He would have sought for every means to eliminate and get rid of me, but he didn't do it. He stood for me. How many of us, when we come to leadership, remember the ladder we used to climb up? The people we used to get to where we are. But most times we forget when we are in position of leadership. But Hebrews 6 verse 10, I love it, said, for God is not unjust. He will not forget how hard you have worked for him and how you have shown your love to him by caring for other believers as you still do. The King James says he's not unrighteous to forgive your labor of love. Forgetfulness is unrighteousness. And you see why? Unrighteousness is ungodly. That's why when people are ungrateful, they are ungodly, they are wicked, they are dangerous. Be mindful of them. But the spirit of leadership excellence is never ungrateful. It's never forgetful because it's not unrighteous. It remembers the little details, the small details. The other day I was in my car with my family driving, and in the traffic I met this lady. That was more than 20 years ago in high school. She was a librarian then. She's controlled the library, and I couldn't pay my library fee, and I like reading a lot, and there were many days in our school in Ivory Coast you have to read a lot. Most of the things were done for an assignment, going to do research and all that, and I couldn't afford the library fee. I was on a scholarship, and the one who was helping me, he couldn't get stressed so much. He had a lot of students he were helping. So this lady, knowing that I was a good student, she said, I'll pay your library fee for 10th, 11th, 12th. I saw that lady, I stopped. And I told my wife, I've always told my wife and my family about her. And I said, this lady, when I hugged her, she was so confused. And, thinking about all the years and coming down from this truck, or librarians who call it Jeep. And it's like, and I said, Ma, I still appreciate you, man. I talk about you every day. I pray that God will keep you. Spirit of leadership excellence doesn't forget. Library fee at that time, it was like 500 CFA. Then it was like 25 Liberian dollars. That was a huge amount for me, for some of you. And that's why some people, leaders, you gotta come to leadership with a spirit of excellence. That's what make you exceptional. Don't be ungrateful. Don't be forgetful. Don't be unrighteous. If Liberia must rise, if Liberia must be the place that we can be proud of, beloved, it's about time that we start being ungrateful and we start being unrighteous to one another.
We gave them our heart, but they let us down. We showed them how much we love them. Now, in return, they break our hearts. But we
I see
never
people.
get tired.
I see the level of unforgiveness in our society, even the church sector, in relationship. We can change our society with being ungrateful, being forgetful, being unrighteous. If this video has been a blessing to you and inspiration, you can go to our YouTube channel, you can subscribe, you can share, you can like, you can leave a comment as to how we can improve. God bless you. Bye-bye. I love you. I look forward to seeing you again.